Hey, how's it going out there, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day. So it's weekly recap time. If you don't know, I do this every week. We go over the numbers of the week. I'm at an 80-20 split carrier. I don't talk about the carrier. It's a small carrier. You just have to find an 80-20 split carrier if you want similar numbers to this. I pull a reefer trailer. It's their trailer. I don't talk about my fixed costs. We go over variable costs. My fixed costs are what they are. Your fixed costs will be different. You'll have to plug your own numbers into this. And that's, the gist of what's going on here. If you like this, be sure to hit the like, the share, and the subscribe button. If you know somebody's thinking about becoming an owner-operator and could use these numbers to maybe make up a budget or kind of get an idea of what the money's like, by all means, send them this video. I got a playlist down there of all my videos. Got some broke up in different ways. Check out some playlists. Check out the description. Look at Mudflap if you're going to be buying your own fuel. That's how I buy my fuel, and I get really good discounts doing that. Check out my other channel down there, Trucking with Diabetes. I have type 2 diabetes. We're controlling it. So, it's more of a community than me telling you how to do it or you telling me how to do it. We're just a community. It's just, it's just a little bit of, hanging out with each other, dealing with the issues of being a trucker with type 2 diabetes. So, also, I want real quick, I want to get into a little something. If you're not getting notifications, do me a favor, unnotify, turn them off, then turn them back on. Some people aren't getting them. I don't know. It's a thing with YouTube going on right now. A lot of people aren't getting my notifications. So anyway, let's get down to it. Did 3 loads this week. Started my week on like a midday Monday. And finished my day up Sunday night. The load carried over into Monday. I had an 11:30 p.m. delivery time, and of course, they didn't get me unloaded till over into the morning. So that's what that was. If you follow my videos, you will know that I broke down this week. I had a check engine light come on like Tuesday, maybe, I think. Maybe Tuesday. Wednesday, I was at the dealership, had them run the codes. I already knew the code came up on the dash for an inlet knock sensor. Had to have that replaced. Had that done with a Premium 2000 warranty. So if you're wondering what Premium 2000 warranties work like, go check out that video. I think I put that out Thursday or Friday. So check out that video if you're curious about aftermarket warranties. So I lost a day, and I had to give up a load because of that. I had a load booked that was going, I was on a load from Minnesota to Maryland, and the check engine light came on in Indiana. I drove the truck over, and it never threw the second check engine light, just that one amber light, not the one that's amber with a check. It never ran the stop, it never got to that level. As soon as the stop amber light came on, or the check amber light, excuse me, as soon as it came on, I started calling dealerships along the way to see, who was backed up and who could get me in. And so I lost a day. I had to give up the load that was coming out of Maryland back to Minnesota. And I think I could have had a better week because I lost a day. Obviously when you lose a day on the road, you lose revenue. So that happened this week. I just wanted to put that in there, in case anybody wasn't following along, kind of what was going on this week. So the first load was from Minnesota to Maryland. 1 pick, 1 drop, 42,000 pounds, 32 degrees, start and stop load, just a regular old grocery load, a little bit of mix. It was actually going to a fast food chain, but it was a few different things. 100 miles of deadhead on that from the previous load coming up. 1367 total miles on that. That load paid $4,600. That was a really good load. That was like 3 something a mile on a pretty decent load there. So that was the one I broke down on, but basically it was scheduled to deliver Thursday morning at 6. We pushed it same time Friday at 6. So we lost just 1 day on that, which is pretty good for losing a knock sensor. Sometimes you got to sit around and wait on them to work on that. So I was glad they got that done. Warranty covered that for me. I paid $100 out of pocket for that. Pretty happy with that. Second load I picked up, I had to scrounge around to find a load on Friday. after I got unloaded there in Maryland. I had a load booked. They called back, said, okay, we're pushing that load till Monday. I booked another load. They said it couldn't receive it till like Tuesday, and I'm like, I'm not booking a load on Friday that's going like, 1,000 miles and it takes 4 days. Wasn't interested in that one. Ended up settling on this load out of Vineland, New Jersey, over to a dish cold storage. It was frozen food load. It was in Indianapolis, or just south of Indy there. That was 80 miles of deadhead to run up from Maryland to Jersey. And not my normal spot I pick up in Vineland, but not a bad pickup spot. 706 loaded miles on that one. That load paid $1,700. And like I said, frozen food, -10, 786 total miles. Paid a lot of tolls on that one. Paid to go over to Ben Franklin Bridge. That's not fun in a truck. I paid $48 to cross a toll, I think in Maryland or Delaware maybe. I don't know. There's a bridge up there. I mean, it's not even that fancy, to be honest with you. $48 across that joker. I spent $208 in tolls on that trip. So tolls got me on that one. And then I ran a load out of Indy, 21 miles of deadhead on that. Ran that load back over to New Stanton, PA, which is like south of Pittsburgh. It's like the southeast side of Pittsburgh, right before you get to the toll road. So no tolls on that one, thank goodness, because I dodged $269 worth of tolls on that first load. I did a video about that. If you want to know about going around toll roads and what I think about that, go check out that video. If you've got questions about trucking, I've probably done a video on it. I'm not saying I know everything, and my videos are not the end-all be-all, but they're definitely one person's opinion on, how I truck and my thoughts. So I dodged a lot of tolls on that one. And luckily, instead of paying, $277 I was going to pay in tolls on that one, I paid $8 in tolls on that one. I dodged a lot of tolls. I drove 100 miles to save like, $269 in tolls. So, tolls were big on that second load for it being a 786 mile load. But it was one of those where I picked it up on a Friday afternoon and I had to deliver it Saturday night. So I didn't have a lot of time to goof around with it. Let's see, that load was 40,000 pounds. That load, I didn't tell you the weight on that one. The New Jersey to Indiana was about 40,000 pounds. I don't have that wrote down. The load from Indy back to Pittsburgh area, that one was about 25,000 pounds. So not as bad, but still 25,000 pounds, -10 degrees. That load paid $1,700 as well. So, total it all up, $8,000 revenue for the week. Freight is still doing really good right now. Don't let the brokers tell you the rates are coming down. The volumes may be lightening up a little bit because we're not in holiday season anymore. We're in January right now. But don't let them talk you down just because they can. Stick to your guns. Still demand high rates when you're in an area that demands high rates. Don't forget, if you're somewhere where the weather's bad, obviously more people are not going to want to run that area. So keep the rates up. That's my advice. So if we can get rates like this in the middle of winter, I think when spring opens up, we're gonna see a little bit of stability in these rates. Fuel price is going up, guys. If you are operating a truck that's not fuel efficient, now is the time to start getting it more fuel efficient. I changed my air filter this last week, just maintenance. Did an oil change this week. All things I would have done anyway, but all things that help fuel mileage. So, stay up on your maintenance and slow down if you can. That helps. If you've got a big flat fronted truck, the best advice I can give you is slow down, but I know it's tough when you got a big shiny, pretty truck, you want to hammer on it. And, fuel prices are going up. So, you're going to feel that pinch. So yeah, $8,000 revenue for the week. Like I said, I'm leased to an 80-20 split carrier. I think trying to think. I maybe do some detention on one of these loads. I think I turned in detention on the pickup in Indianapolis. I turned in detention, so I don't. Maybe I'll get that. Maybe I won't. That's 8,000 to the carrier. It's 6,400 to the truck. It's an 80-20 split carrier. Total miles this week, 2,548 miles for the week. 201 of that was deadhead, which puts me in at 8% deadhead. And to break that down, that is $3.14 a mile, all miles to the carrier. $3.14 a mile. I love that. That is a really good rate, all miles. $2.51 to the truck. Really good rate to the truck. $3.40 a mile for the loaded miles. And I really don't like to talk about the loaded miles too much, other than the fact that that kind of helps, show you where rates are at. A lot of truckers on YouTube will not tell you this part of it. And some of them will, and those are the guys I respect. That's a good rate per mile. But a little bit of that is built in because that load out to Maryland had a lot of tolls in it. I dodged them, so I got to keep some of that revenue. That load from New Jersey back to Indiana had a lot of tolls. I couldn't dodge those for time constraints. So my rates are higher because there's tolls built into that, So a little bit of that money, is, I would say probably a dime a mile of that is supposed to be toll money that I actually got to, recoup and hang on to because I went around the tolls. Can't always do it. Sometimes you got to eat that and take those tolls, but sometimes when you see a really good rate per mile, you got to consider everything. Is it going through the mountains? Should pay a little more if it's going through the mountains because it's harder on your equipment. You're going to use more fuel. Is it going to, an area that runs through a lot of toll roads? That should bring the rate up. You shouldn't be paying for the rates. Whoever's moving the freight should be paying for the tolls. Excuse me, I said rates. You shouldn't be paying for those tolls. So that's just a little something I wanted to throw in there. Maybe that helps somebody. Don't get like don't get shocked and amazed when you see a good rate on a load. All things must be considered. That's my advice. So let's break down some variable costs, because I go over variable cost. After I break these down, I always give you my number of what I have left over, and that is where you would need to plug in your insurance cost, your truck payment if you have one. I don't plug those in because some people don't have truck payments. Some people have $4,000 a month truck payments. It varies. So you plug your numbers into that of what kind of truck you're looking at, what kind of payment you're looking at. And then you need to call around, get your insurance cost of all the types of insurance you need, and plug those in. So let's talk variable costs now. Let's do it. Let's get to variables. So spent $950 on diesel. Like I said, guys, check out that mud flap. I was getting fuel this week for $1.77 minus IFTA tax in Ohio right now. That's where I got most of my fuel, was at that one stop. When I went out to Maryland, I got my fuel at that stop in Ohio that was $2.24 a gallon. When I came back, I got fuel there again. And then when I went back to the Pittsburgh area, I got fuel there again. So I fueled at that one stop 3 times. And that's how you do it. When you find a good deal, you soak it up. So $950 in diesel for the week. Not bad on 2,548. Not getting as good a fuel economy. We're on winter fuel right now. There's no doubt about it. I'm averaging like 7.3 to 7.6 on the mileage right now. Like, I'm typically like heavy loads, I'm like 7.2, 7.3. Light loads, I'm up around like 7.5 to 7.7, and then deadheading I'm like 7.8, 7.9. But definitely pulled off about a third of a mile per gallon on winter fuel. That's about what I'm noticing. But anyway, it's gonna happen in the winter. Let's see, $9.50 on diesel this week. $57 on reefer. Had 2 frozen food loads, so a little heavy on reefer, especially being cold outside. But I ran one of them on continuous, so it is what it is. $42 in DEF. Now, I started the week on rock bottom on DEF, so 42 is a huge amount for me to be using on DEF. I started the week on rock bottom, filled it up, then I had that breakdown, and they had to do a forced regen after they put the new sensor in. So I got a full forced regen in that, and I'm pretty full right now. So I'm okay with DEF usage. I think I'm kind of where I usually am. It's $12 on a cat scale, $2.16 on a toll. That brings variable cost to $1,277 for the week. We bring the $6,400 to the truck over, subtract the $1,277 in variable cost, and that leaves me $5,123 to do what I got to do for the week. Not a bad week, guys. Not a bad week. Even with losing a day, it could have been a stellar week. I was on pace for a stellar week. And then things happen, you cope with them the best you can, honestly. And I'm going to say for losing a day and breaking down, I give this week like a B. Honestly, I'd probably give it less, but I didn't have to be told. I broke down, but I didn't have to be towed into the shop. I drove it into the shop. So to me, that's a win, because I hate when I have to call the hook and, put the truck on it. It's never a good feeling. It's like the double whammy, kicked while you're down. So I'm gonna say it probably a B for the week. It was good revenue. Didn't have to run a crap ton of miles. I mean, 2548 is a lot of miles, but for me, it's really not. The weekend was a little hectic, but everything else went fairly smooth, for an OTR trucking week. But that's it, guys. I'm out of here. Be sure to check out the description for all the fun stuff. Take care of each other out there. Thanks for watching. Later.